Why does a sugary donut feel so incredibly satisfying? What if your deep-seated cravings for fat, sugar, and protein aren't just modern indulgences, but echoes from millions of years ago? Your body, your brain, and your gut carry an ancient blueprint. This blueprint was forged in the crucible of survival. For millions of years, your ancestors faced a brutal challenge: finding enough energy to live, finding enough nutrition to reproduce. Every bite, every successful hunt, every discovered berry shaped us. It hardwired our preferences. Today, we live in a world of abundant processed food. But our inner mechanisms often react as if famine looms. This fundamental mismatch explains so much. It explains why modern food hits different. Get ready to unearth the incredible story. A story stretching back over 6 million years. It's the wild evolutionary journey of the human diet. And it reveals why your brain is still playing by ancient rules. Our story begins in East Africa, roughly 6 million years ago. Early hominids, like Australopithecus, roamed the vast savannas. They were not apex predators. Far from it. These bipedal creatures were survivors. They were opportunistic. Their diet was largely plant-based. Fruits, leaves, nuts, tubers. Whatever they could find. They foraged constantly. But something crucial was missing. A consistent source of dense energy. Then, a new strategy emerged. Scavenging. Imagine a group of early hominids. They cautiously approach a recent kill. A lion or hyena has left its scraps. Bones remain. These bones held a secret treasure. Marrow. Bone marrow is rich in fat. It's packed with calories. A perfect energy bomb. But it was hard to reach. Early hominids learned to crack open these bones. They used simple stones, heavy rocks smashed against a femur. This was not sophisticated tool making. It was raw necessity. The reward was immense. This fat-rich marrow provided vital nutrients. It fueled their growing brains. It gave them an edge. This early scavenging taught our ancestors something profound. The value of fat. The value of dense calories. A taste preference was born. A preference for richness. For energy. It was a craving for survival. This scavenger lifestyle was dangerous. It was competitive. But it was also transformative. It pushed our ancestors towards new behaviors. It demanded innovation. It laid the groundwork for everything that followed. Around 2.6 million years ago, a new chapter began. The Oldowan toolkit emerged. Simple stone tools. Flakes struck from river cobbles. These weren't just bone smashers. They were sharp. They could cut. They could slice meat from a carcass. Homo habilis, handyman, was using these. Accessing more flesh. Not just marrow. This meant more protein. More fuel for muscle development. And critically, more for the brain. Fast forward to Homo erectus. Roughly 2 million years ago. This species was a game changer. Homo erectus was a true hunter. They were not just scavenging. They actively pursued prey. This required coordination. It demanded strategy. It involved persistence hunting. Chasing animals until they collapsed from exhaustion. This was physically demanding. It required incredible stamina. And it demanded a high-calorie diet. Meat became a dietary cornerstone. Animal protein provides all essential amino acids. It supports larger brains. It enables more complex thought. Hunting also fostered social bonds. Cooperation was essential. Sharing the kill strengthened the group. This era refined our taste for protein. It reinforced the reward for success. The high-value meal. The rich, dense calories. Our brains were being shaped. They were evolving to seek out these energy-dense foods. Foods that fueled big bodies and even bigger brains. The hunt for food was driving human evolution itself. Then came fire. This was perhaps the single most important dietary revolution. Evidence suggests controlled use of fire dates back at least 1.5 million years. Possibly even earlier. Imagine the scene. A small group of hominids huddling around a crackling fire. Raw meat roasting over the flames. This wasn't just warmth. It was a culinary turning point. Cooking changes everything. It breaks down tough fibers in plants. It denatures proteins in meat. Cooked food is easier to chew. It's easier to digest. Our digestive systems shortened. Energy previously spent on digestion could be redirected. Where did it go? To our brains. Cooked food unlocks more nutrients. It makes more calories available. It's a huge energy efficiency boost. A raw diet struggles to fuel a large brain. Cooking made it possible. Our brains grew significantly after the widespread adoption of fire. More energy meant more brain power. Cooked food also killed pathogens. It made food safer. It reduced illness. This led to healthier, more robust populations. Fire also extended foraging hours. It offered protection from predators at night. It became a social hub, a place for community, for sharing stories, for developing language. Our ancestors learned to love the taste of cooked food, the savory notes, the tender textures, the safety it provided. This preference for cooked, tender, energy-rich meals is deeply ingrained. It's another ancient craving, a biological imprint from the age of fire. For hundreds of thousands of years, our direct ancestors, Homo sapiens, lived as hunter-gatherers. This period, roughly 200,000 to 10,000 years ago, represents the vast majority of human existence. Our biology is still largely adapted to this lifestyle. Hunter-gatherers were incredibly resourceful. Their diet was diverse. It varied wildly depending on geography and season. They ate wild fruits, berries, nuts, and roots. They consumed leaves, shoots, and fungi. They hunted small and large game, from rabbits to mammoths. They fished rivers and oceans. They collected shellfish. Insects were often a valuable protein source. Their food was fresh. It was unprocessed. It was seasonal. And it was often physically demanding to acquire. This constant search for variety ensured a broad spectrum of nutrients. They learned to identify edible plants. They mastered hunting techniques. They adapted to their environment. Our modern palates still reflect this diversity. We enjoy a range of tastes and textures. Sweetness signaled ripe fruit. Bitterness often meant poison. Umami, a savory taste, indicated protein. Fat meant concentrated energy. Our brains evolved a reward system. Finding these high-value foods released dopamine. It felt good. This encouraged repetition. This reinforcement mechanism is powerful. It drives us to seek out what helped our ancestors survive. The desire for sweetness, for fat, for protein. These are not modern inventions. They are ancient, hardwired survival instincts. They were crucial in a world of scarcity. Around 10,000 years ago, everything changed again. The Neolithic Revolution. The advent of agriculture. Humans began cultivating crops. They domesticated animals. This was a monumental shift. It allowed for settled communities. It led to food surpluses. Populations grew. But it also brought significant trade-offs. The diet became less diverse. Grains like wheat, barley, and rice became staples. Dairy products from domesticated animals were introduced. While providing a more stable food supply, this diet was often less nutrient-dense. It led to deficiencies. Skeletons from early agricultural communities show signs. Tooth decay increased. Bone density often decreased. Height sometimes declined. New diseases emerged, associated with living in closer quarters and relying on fewer food sources. Our bodies were suddenly adjusting to a new way of eating, a much narrower range of foods. This shift happened incredibly fast, in evolutionary terms. 10,000 years is a blink compared to millions. Our genes, our guts, our brains had little time to adapt. We moved from a diverse, wild, hunter-gatherer diet to a more restricted, cultivated diet. This laid the foundation for future dietary challenges. It was a step towards modern eating, but our ancient wiring remained. fast forward to today. The world of supermarkets, of drive-thrus, of instant gratification. Our food environment is unrecognizable to our ancestors. We have ultra-processed foods. They are engineered for maximum pleasure, high in sugar, fat, and salt. They are cheap. They are abundant. They require no effort to acquire. And our ancient brains absolutely love them. Why? Because they tick all the ancient boxes. Sugar equals quick energy. Fat equals dense calories. Salt is a vital electrolyte. These were rare treasures in the past. Finding them triggered powerful dopamine rushes. It was a signal of survival. Today, those signals are constantly triggered by sugary drinks, by fatty snacks, by salty chips. Our brains are still seeking those high-reward foods, but now they are everywhere, and in forms that are far more concentrated. Our bodies are designed for periods of feast and famine, to store fat when food is plentiful, to survive when it's scarce. But for many, the famine never comes. It's a continuous feast. This is the modern mismatch. Our ancient biology struggles to cope. It's like putting a finely tuned antique car on a hypermodern racetrack. The car is still magnificent, but it's not designed for the new conditions. This explains the obesity epidemic. It explains chronic diseases. Our cravings are not a moral failing. They are an evolutionary legacy, a powerful echo from millions of years of survival. Let's explore some surprising ways our past influences our present cravings. Consider bitter tastes. Many plant toxins are bitter. Our extreme sensitivity to bitterness evolved as a protective mechanism. It helped our ancestors avoid poison, but it also made many nutritious vegetables challenging to eat, especially for children. Our love for umami, that savory, meaty taste, is another example. It signals the presence of proteins, glutamate, crucial for building and repairing tissues. The brain releases dopamine when it detects umami. It's a clear signal. Eat more of this. Our deep-seated preference for variety also has ancient roots. Hunter-gatherers constantly sought new food sources. This ensured a broader nutrient intake. Today, this manifests as a desire for novelty. We get bored eating the same thing. So we seek out new flavors, new dishes. The concept of food addiction also makes sense through an evolutionary lens. The reward pathways for sugar, fat, and protein are incredibly strong. They're designed to be. In a world of scarcity, a strong drive to seek these out was essential. Today, those same drives can lead to overconsumption. They can feel almost irresistible. Our biology pushes us towards these highly palatable, energy-dense foods. It's not a flaw. It's a feature. An ancient feature. Misfiring in a modern environment, the journey of the human diet is a truly epic tale. From cracking bones for marrow, to mastering fire, to hunting vast herds, to cultivating fields. Each step profoundly shaped us. It sculpted our bodies, our brains, and our very desires. Your cravings for sugar, fat, and protein are not just whims. They are echoes. They are whispers from ancestors. Ancestors who fought daily for survival. Understanding this evolutionary history is incredibly powerful. It helps us make sense of our eating habits. It helps us recognize that our cravings are not weaknesses. They are ancient survival strategies. Misfiring in a world of abundance. This knowledge doesn't automatically solve our modern dietary challenges, but it provides a crucial framework. It empowers us to make conscious choices, to navigate a food landscape our ancestors could never have imagined. It reminds us that our bodies are incredible, ancient machines. They are still running on software written millions of years ago. A software designed for a very different world. So knowing all this, how do you think your own ancient cravings play out in your daily life?